Good evening and welcome to the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup here in the beautiful city of Sydney, Australia 2022. Group B, game day 2, Canada taking on France. Both teams with respectively big wins on game day 1, which was yesterday. We saw France outfight maybe Australia 70-57, and Canada with a big win over Serbia 67-60. Shona Thorburn alongside Azania Stewart bringing you tonight's action. Azania, Canada, what do they need to do to get a win tonight against France?
Well, first of all, I can't say who's going to win this. I'm so excited for this game. Like you said, both teams had fantastic games yesterday. For me, Alexandra had 13 points, 7 big rebounds, was tough. Also, another vet, Changwa, 10 points, 8 rebounds, and then led by Kia Nurse. She had 9 points under 20 minutes. She looked good. Obviously, she's coming back from an injury, but also a great team effort from the Canadians.
Yep, you said it. Both new coaches for Canada and France. Europeans going up against each other. Victor Lepena for Canada and Jean-Aimé Tupin for France. And now France, I mentioned it was a slug match yesterday, the France-Australia game, but a big 13-point win, and you saw some young stars for France step up, especially Marine Foutux. Who do you think, oh, and let's not forget Gabby Williams, but you expect her to ball out every single night. You can't just rely on 2 people. Who has to come out here tonight for this French team?
Well, let's talk about Gabby Williams, because I had her in the press conference after the game, and she said, look, we're missing a fair few of our stars with Gruda, with Johannes is out. She said, I need to impose myself early and often. And that's what she said. What I also love, she conducted herself so beautifully in that press conference. She said, you know, I found my shot early in transition. I didn't force it. I tried to make myself aggressive, and I really appreciated that, and she sure did. She had 23 points, and she was 10 from 15 from the floor. A good clip also.
Yep, I agree with you. It was definitely the Gabby Williams show yesterday against Australia. Who can step up from Canada and shut down Gabby Williams might be the better question, because we saw it yesterday. She had some decent defenders on her, and she still came up with 23 points. So there's game day 2, Group B schedule. Earlier today, Serbia with a 5-point win over Japan, 69-64. France coming up now against Canada. And this evening, we have Australia against Mali. And there are the standings. So Serbia now with that win, 1-on-1. Japan with the loss today are at 1-on-1. France and Canada will find out shortly. And can either Australia or Mali get their first win? We'll find out. Quick pause for anthems.
And the national anthem of France.
Well, some friendlies now and a gift exchange before the battle commences. And a battle is the way I think this game is going to go here tonight in Sydney, Australia. And of course, we have our referees for tonight. Salins from Latvia, Liska from Poland, and Batista Palermo from Puerto Rico. So that team, third team on the floor tonight.
They're actually the fourth team.
They're the fourth.
We're the third. Right up here.
All right, so they're the fourth, we're the third, but they're the ones on the court.
Right, you're right.
And starting lineup for Canada, we have Nurse, Carlton, Achanwa, Colley, and Alexander. So the exact starting lineup we saw last night, or yesterday, excuse me, against Serbia.
Yeah, solid. I thought Carlton also has good minutes, and maybe somebody a big body on Gabby Williams.
And Coach Victor LaPena, the newly appointed head coach of Canada. He coached them in that World Cup qualifiers in February. And now we will see the starting lineup of France. I imagine it'll probably be the same as yesterday, but we will find out very shortly.
And there it is.
So, Marine Fotuk, Alexia Chartereau, Michelle, Williams, and Badian. So yeah, that's exactly the same starting lineup as yesterday.
Okay, perfect. Solid.
And I mentioned it before, two newly appointed coaches for these two national teams. That man right there, Jean-Aimé Tupan. And, well, he got them here. It was a struggle. It wasn't pretty in February at the World Cup qualification tournament in Serbia. But they're here, and in my opinion, they played a different style of basketball against Australia, which obviously benefited them because they came up with that big win. A 13-point win is very significant over Australia. And don't forget, 2 days before this competition started, we found out that Maureen Joannes was not going to be playing in this tournament.
Yeah, she hurt herself in a warm-up game versus USA.
So, there you see it. Tissot countdown to tip-off, just under a minute.
You know what also I was really impressed with France yesterday against Australia? They really matched and maybe over, was very physical with Australia. They were tough and really pushed them out of their ways. There you see the loss in the World Cup for the Canada. I was impressed by them. I thought they moved the ball well, they shot it well. And then you see won the last 7 games in which the score is 65 plus points.
Yep, so you saw it. Canada lost to France back in 2014. Unfortunately, I remember that game and I still have some bitterness.
Listen, I have bitterness against France too when Celine
2012,
Demerck, Celine Demerck hit a 3 and then to put them into overtime and then hit a 3 to win. But they were the silver medalists, so.
Well, it's all smiles right now. I'm not sure to be all smiles as soon as this ball is thrown up.
Right here at the Sydney Superdome. The pitch is ready. The referees are ready. Both teams are ready, and I know you're ready. It's game time.
And hello and good evening. Welcome to the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. Group B action, Canada taking on France. Shona Thorburn alongside Azania Stewart calling tonight's game for you. And a good little shot there by Carlton off the mark. And Alexander able to attack the offensive rebound. She couldn't come up with it, but it's going to be considered a team offensive board. Nurse, shot, pop, and it's good. Oh, and that's a great sign.
Oh, I love that. I love that for Nurse. First shot. And it's good. And we saw her do her warm-up was a full weight program down here on the baseline, wasn't it?
Physically, she should be ready to go. Chartereau with a tough little layup, but a quick turnover. Marine Fotuk can't score.
disappointed by Futux. That was a nice little steal, and the rim just has a little bounce to it.
And now Canada getting into their offense rather late. Colley, nowhere to go. And Carlton gives it up to Nurse. Nurse attacks the basket. She's off the mark, and now that's France running. And Futux's pass is picked off by Carlton, who goes all the way and can't make the and one, but she is going to earn herself a trip to the line.
And I told you about Bridget Carlton. I really like her look. She anticipates this perfectly, cross-court pass, dangerous, and she goes all the way to the rim, gets fouled, but way to be aggressive. And I told you she would match up with the hard task to guard Gabby Williams. First goes in.
Well, both these teams maybe a little sloppy with the ball early here. But Carlton goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. And Williams, who had that great game yesterday, splits the defense, goes all the way to the rack. Achanwa there on the help side, maybe adjusted her layup, but it's definitely off the mark. And now Nurse. They look inside to Alexander. Alexander battling with Badian down low, somehow loses the ball, gets it back, and is able to draw the foul.
And down here on the other end, I told you for France, that's the third shot that they've put up, has just rattled in and out. So all good shots, just not luck on their side.
And I think it's going to be a good battle because Badian and Alexander know each other very well, as both of them played in Lyon Asvel last year. Kayla joining a little bit late. So she knows Alexander's strengths.
Yeah. And sorry, I had a bit of fluff on my mic. And yeah, and when you have a teammate like that, you know their strengths, but you also know their weaknesses, right?
Exactly. So you force her to her weaknesses is what you mean.
Yes.
Well, Canada out to a quick 6-0 lead, and Futux has nowhere to go, gives it up to Badian. And Badian, nice handoff, Futux, penetration, pass to Chartereau, and her two-punch jump shot is good.
And for me, Chartereau has just started to get better and better as this tournament's gone along, found her confidence.
Yeah, maybe lost a little bit of confidence this year in Lyon Asvel. And I agree with you, since, this summer, every game I've seen her play, Achanwa, tough layup off the mark, and Williams just not able to hold on to it.
Achanwa wants to foul there, but I'm pretty sure that was good defense from Gabby Williams. Obviously, she's known as a defensive player. Yes?
This is our 7th game that we have called already in this tournament.
Yep.
And every game you and I talk about how physical the referees are allowing it.
Yep.
And so far this tournament has been well refereed, in my opinion, but they are letting a lot go on both ends of the court. So you have to adjust and you have to bring up your physicality and, that, well, guess what? I can do that down on the defensive end if you're not going to call it on the offensive end.
I would have to agree with you.
Well, Achanwa's shot was well off. And nice bounce pass into Badian. Good seal. She's not able to make the basket, though. And Canada comes up with a rebound. Carlton.
That looks good for her. Oh,
and it looked good from this angle, but it was well short.
It went really short. Both short for Changwa and Carlton. Obviously, both of these teams played yesterday, so maybe a little fatigue in the legs, but it is early, and they'll start to get themselves going here.
And we know France played last night at 8:30 p.m. Badian, nice fake one way, comes back the other, and her shot's good. So France now 4 points. Canada hasn't scored since those initial 6 points. Achanwa drives, and no call, but Alexander there for the offensive rebound. She gets her own rebound, and she can't convert that one either.
That one I thought was a foul across Achangwa's face.
And refs are definitely letting a lot go. Fotuk's tough layup is off the mark. And now Canada with an opportunity to run. Colley goes all the way to the basket, and that time they call a foul. And Alexia Chartereau.
I think that's a knee to...
Well, there you see the little nice spin move. And here we'll take a...
Yeah.
I think she got kneed kind of in the groin area.
Yeah.
High thigh, maybe. Or she could have got winded as well.
Yeah, it looks like to the high thigh or to the lady area, which is also very painful. She's just in a little bit of pain and slow to get up, but good to see her up. But because the physio crew have come on, she does have to leave, and a sub must come in. So
And it looks like the physio there had a couple words to the referee while he was walking off. Yeah.
I love that. Your claim to fame. A few seconds to say something.
Imagine the physio gets a technical.
Yeah. You're out of here, mate. But Siak now subs in, so a little bit more size for the French.
And Colley misses the first of two. But makes the second, so Canada with a slight 3-point lead, almost 4 minutes into this first quarter. And Canada into a zone, but guess what? They left Gabby Williams open, and unfortunately she couldn't knock it down. And Williams almost comes up with the steal, but now Colley driving, kicking, Fields. Her three-point shot is good.
Nice.
That was nice offense.
That was beautiful offense. Nice drive, kick, good movement by the Canadians. They're looking good.
Nice backdoor cut by Sarah Michelle. Her shot's off the mark. Fields, she just knocked down 1-3. Now she attacks the basket. Tough layup, isn't able to go in. And this is a physical, fast game. Michelle just pulls up.
I think she could have driven to the basket, maybe drew that defender, and then a little pop pass to
knocked down a couple threes for them yesterday, right?
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say, dribbling up to the three-point line is Sarah Michelle's strength. Fields, shot clock winding down. She's going to have to put it up. She does, and that's off the front of the rim. And great run by Ileana Rupert. So, hello, world. She did play yesterday. She arrived a few days ago now from the Las Vegas Aces, who just won the WNBA, right?
She's a champion.
She is a champion.
Really cool.
Can she champion her French team to the podium? Or at least to a win here tonight? If she runs like that, she definitely can. Fotuk's with a one-footed runner. I think she wanted to pass to Rupert and realized, there you see Rupert running the floor well. The last play, I think Fotuk's wanted to pass to Rupert and realized she was the one that was open, and probably not a great shot, but she got fouled, so it worked, and now she's going to go to the free throw line for two.
Okay.
Well, Fotuk's comes up with just one and a fight for the rebound. Carlton just sort of pulled that ball away from Rupert.
Yeah, I told you she's really tough.
And
somebody's got to get open.
Substitutions now. It's going to be close to a 5-second call. Carlton wants a screen. She gets one. And Amy here. Tough layup. And this is physical, folks. But no call. Ball's out of bounds. Last touch by Canada. So France's ball.
Well, it's physical both ways, like we said.
Torre, I thought she's the one who replaced Marine Johannes. And maybe not a great first half yesterday, but a great second half.
Yes, she did. She came out solid.
Williams. And that's going to be a kick ball. So good defense there by Amy here. You see Canada are switching every time Williams is coming off of an on-ball screen.
Yeah, they're ready for her. Obviously, after she just had a great game just last night, 23 points, most of their prep will be around her.
So Burkini gives it up to Siak. She gets it back. She is not afraid to shoot long shots. And she probably had time to try and make a couple extra passes. She let that go with around 8 seconds and was a good, what would you say, 3 meters behind the line?
Yeah, you can get a better shot than that, in my opinion. But either way, if they get the ball up, get the ball back, excuse me.
And Williams' shot is short, so she's missed a few shots that we saw her make yesterday. And here, ball is going to stay France ball. Those shots she was kind of making last night.
Yeah, and those are all right shots, so she can't get frustrated with herself when it's going in and it's looking good. And we get to see number 22, Che. And I asked you that at the beginning of the game. I said,
you
are
did.
we going to see Che? And I thought, yes, we are, because against a Siak or a taller French post player. And look, I should be a coach too, as well as a referee.
So the youngin, Filipina Che, who plays at the University of Oregon, is making her debuts at this World Cup and with the senior team.
Did that say
for
she was
Canada?
born on 2003?
I don't even look at age anymore because it just makes me feel old.
Okay, we're fine wine, honey. Here we go.
Michelle finds Chartereau, Torre, and Tadic. Tadic, not a lot of minutes yesterday for them. She has had good preparation games with this French team, and her as well making her debut with the senior team. Yesterday she did play, so her first ever World Cup. Quite a few players on both these teams making their first ever World Cup, actually.
Yeah.
Hill has got to create, step back. It's a long two, off the mark. You saw the arms of Amy here. She just wasn't able to touch the ball, though. And now Burkini gets it into Tadic. She gets it back. And Hill almost, or did run into Carlton.
She does. Wow. Technical foul versus your own player, I think that's called.
The unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Fields, nowhere to go. Nice defense. Hill attacking, passing. Fields knocked down one already. That one's off the front of the rim. And ball to France. And here you see the steal. So good job, nice help by Chi. And Hill reading the play. Well, Nurse started, went out, and then has already come back in this first quarter.
Yeah,
we
she's
do
on
know.
limited
Yeah, we
minutes,
do
yeah.
know that. Ran into her yesterday, and I said, "What is the minute limit?" She goes 20, but I played 19 the other day, so I'm hoping it will be around 21, 22.
Yeah, I think she played 1850 was when I
Michelle. And good job, Michelle, drawing the foul against Nurse. So both teams with 3 fouls each. Yeah, good job. That's, you always teach your guards to try and go shoulder to shoulder off of the screener, and that's the reason. So Tadic to Michelle, out to Chartereau, and back to Michelle, and her quick 2-point jump shot is off. And those were the kind of shots that they were hitting early yesterday against Australia.
Yeah, and they kind of had to if you were going to beat Australia. Short today, they've only scored 7 points in this first quarter.
Colley gives it up to Nurse. And Michelle, her defender, just falls. And Che with her first shot attempt for Canada is not able to convert. I think Nurse didn't realize that Michelle had fallen because she could have taken a little bit more time on that shot. And Burkini with the tough floater is good. So now France just down 1 with under a minute to play.
For me, Burkini has the ultra green light. There's not a shot that she doesn't like here. Nice.
And what a play! Great backdoor, beautiful pass, and she finishes in contact.
Love that for Kia Nurse. Like you said, nice backdoor. Maybe we'll get to see it, maybe we won't, but you know she is working hard. And if she knows she's only playing 20 minutes, right? So here we see the nice little pop shot floater. If you're only playing 20 minutes, you're gonna go hard, right? Here it is, nice finish. And 1, and she goes to the free throw line and makes her free throw.
You said it, Azania. When you know you're only going to play limited minutes, you're going to give 110% effort on both ends of the court. Chartereau, first shot.
I don't like that shot because that's exactly what Canada wanted them to do, really. They were in a 2-3 zone, and that's what you get. Chartereau, you could get
one reversal?
Yeah, one reversal. Don't like it.
Colley. And tough defense here by Minya Torre. She is frustrating Nurse. Shot clock's going down. Great hands by Michelle. And now a 3-on-2 opportunity. She finds, I was gonna say she finds Chartereau, but she found Achanwa. Colley goes all the way to the basket and she falls hard, but shot clock winding down, and that's a great aggressive move. Knowing shot clock's winding down, force the referees to blow their whistle, and guess what? She's gonna get to go to the line.
Yeah, but she puts her head down here, straight down the middle, and hits her head, so hopefully she's okay, but her teammates pop her up.
Now, they didn't
Extra
even,
quick.
her teammates didn't even let her
Give
think
a
about it.
Usually you need a second down there. And also France is over the limit anyway. But I really like Colley and Fields. They trade places or sometimes play together. I think Colley has some really nice moments for this Canadian team.
And she goes 2 for 2. So 2 seconds left. You don't want to give up anything long. And you also don't want to turn the ball over. So after 10 minutes, well, we can't call it a high-scoring game, that's for sure. France 9 and Canada 15.
Well, really, both teams struggling, and stats will come up. France shooting 4 from 18 from the floor, and Canada 3 from 19 from the floor. So both teams, look, see that percentage is real low, 22% for France, 16 for Canada. I don't know what you want to blame that on, if that's you played last night a little bit fatigued, but then also we saw, as we get to see the best players of the first quarter, we saw France in their first couple of shots in this quarter just rim in and out. They were great shots, as shots that they were making just yesterday and what they probably make with their eyes closed. So they just got to stick with it as they go into the second quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you, Azania. They're shots that they need to take as well because that's the way that they're playing. And, you know, individually, those are good shots within their, you know, talent. So their repertoire. You said it. And they played last night at 8:30. I'm sure by the time they got home, it was 10:30, 11 maybe? Later.
Because I did press conference at 10:30.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they got home even later. By the time you shower, eat, get treatment.
Wind down.
Yeah. And then you turn around. They did, I believe they had shoot around this morning. Or at least they would have had a session this morning because they would have had a scout session. You got to go over the Scout of Canada.
Yep.
And they were already back at the gym. As soon as you and I finished the last game, they were back here at around 4:30. So that's not a lot of time to recover and then prepare for your next match.
Right. And really in these tournaments, you only have time to pick up on a few minor details. What, you know, each player or some system, one or two, but really you just have to focus on yourself, in my opinion. What do you do great? What did you do great last night? What can you tweak defensively?
Well, obviously, Coach Victor Le Peña, knowing this French team very well. Victor was a longtime assistant for Spain, so many competitions he has gone up against France. And also these Canadian players, especially the veterans, trust me, they know every single one of these French players as well. Well, again, they're just not finding the bottom of the basket is France, and I thought that was a great take. So Nurse double-teamed. Maybe Sherry just being a little too aggressive. She was jumping straight up, though.
Here in the face.
Oh, okay.
High-fived her in the face. Yeah.
Face-fived her?
Yeah. Face 5. Okay, I like that one. Sherry with the foul. Anyway, Nurse.
Colley finds Achanwa to Carlton, the shooter. Her feet were set. That was off the back of the iron, and Achanwa with an offensive rebound gets it back to Carlton. Tough shot, well defended by Williams, and now Williams comes up with the rebound, and France is running. And Chartereau inside to Badian. Badian's gonna go one-on-one. No, she kicks it out to Sherry, who drives back to Badian. And now they kick it out. Shot clock winding down, though. Futux is gonna have to get something going. She lets it fly from deep, and we call that an air ball.
That is an air ball. Somebody opened the window, but for me, France didn't move on that 10-9-8. She asked for the screen. Nobody came up and screened her, so that was her own option. I mean, maybe she could have created a bit better, but nobody helped her out.
Colley, her shot is good. And that was pretty good defense, and you and I have seen this already in the tournament. You could play good defense, but sometimes there's just better offense.
Yeah, and she really torted and twisted her body to get that shot. Great shot by Colley.
Williams, who has not got things going yet, she drives, finds a cutting Sherry, who's blocked by Carlton, though. And a turnover by Achanwa. Williams just goes straight at her, and she says, finally.
Yeah, and that's what she needed, just to tick and see the ball go through the rim. Good for her. And you know what? That was really sneaky defense from France. I like it. Great anticipation. Here, Nurse in the corner.
She gets it inside to Alexander. Nurse lets it fly, and ball to France. Williams just scored the last one. Chartereau penetrates.
If Chartereau just takes one more dribble, she can use the glass. Yeah, layup, please.
Well, Alexander kicks it out to Colley, over to Nurse. And Achanwa gets it back. Carlton off the front of the rim. So we've seen a lot of shots hit the front of the rim here from both teams. Great pass, Williams to Badian. She misses, but she gets her own rebound. So she ruined the great assist of Williams. She's padding her stats, right?
Yeah, that's what you do when you're a post player. But hey, that was a great pass. And that's exactly what France needed. Good push. Maybe what they want. Some easy points in transition might get themselves back into the game. It's 13-17. Canada's seen enough, and they want a timeout. We'll listen in.
And say here, but this one, now you even see doesn't score, and we don't keep working. The next play always, we have to think about in the next play always. Problems here, and my point guard in the corner. Oh my corner, here. Okay, etc. Please involve Chartereau in the pick and roll. Always you have good option, catch and shoot. Okay? Come on, Naira, here.
Well, Le Peña not too happy with the way his players are defending. Can't be too mad when you've held France to 13 points. You know, he did ask his point guards to also come back, and there's a reason why we have positions on a basketball court. Well, Fields and Colley, you mentioned you like seeing Fields and Colley on the court together.
They are. They're a good combo. We saw
it a lot against Serbia because of how crazy and the pressure defense that they do. So I understand why Coach LaPena went to that lineup. Achanwa, her shot is off the mark. Williams.
She just went up and got that thing, didn't she?
She was dunking in warm-up before the game.
No,
little alley-oop dunks by Marine Joannis, who isn't playing but is here with the team. Futux, shot off the back iron. Colley just crosses her over, and Badian comes up with the rebound, and now a 3-on-2. Chartereau finds Sherry, and Sherry just not able to lose the glass.
But all good
fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Yep. Chanwa shot fake, drives baseline. Thinks she wants a foul call. Looks like a little bit of frustration on that Achanwa's face. She's getting mad, folks.
And both teams just begging for the ball to go in. Nobody can see it go through the net.
For a foul.
Oh, one or the other. Here he goes.
Badian, back rim. They're good-looking shots.
Yeah.
They're either front rim or back rim. Now at least they're back rim, so they got their legs under them. And nice defense by Marine Futux. And the foul, I believe, is going to be called on Shea Colley. Nat Achanwa also got tied up. Let's take a look at this. So the foul was on Shea. And that was an inadvertent collision by Achanwa and Futux. I'd love to hear what the refs are discussing right now, if they want to call it an unsportsmanlike, but the foul was on Colley before.
Yeah.
Before the collision.
I think they do have mics on. I wish they would turn them on. I know they're not supposed to, but at least that we can hear at home. Anyway, they're going to go have a look, so then we will hear them. Yes, here we go.
So we're checking possible upgrade for unsportsmanlike foul. Please give us main camera normal speed. Please go back. It's not C4 because it's not loud defender. Okay, display. Okay. Please give us camera number 7 and camera number 5. And play normal speed. So we have a steal, and this is unnecessary contact.
Yeah.
We go with unsportsmanlike foul.
I agree.
C3. Okay. Can you please go back? The player who made the foul, number 13, red, made a foul.
4-1.
Number 4, white, is shooting 2 free throws. The time on the clock is 5:29. We confirm unsportsmanlike foul.
I confirm.
Yes,
We
you show. Yes,
in the side
yes,
line.
yes.
Let's go.
You show number 13.
They confirm it's going to be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul going against Shea Colley. So you hear the French fans cheering.
And good use of the replay. They're allowed to do that, and they took their time and they discussed it, and I like it. And you heard all the rules being spoken. Colley obviously never going to be happy with that, but it's the right call. It was kind of just a big mix-up there, wasn't it? There was the foul, there was the fall with a tango on top of her. But anyway, so France gets some freebies.
Well, Futux 0 for 5 in the game. And always a good way to fix your form is getting to the free throw line. But even if offense isn't falling for her, you saw a great defensive effort there. And she comes up with a steal. And that one in front of the rim.
And they really need those free shots, because right now, this quarter, France has only scored 5 and Canada's only scored 2 in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. Real low scoring, and we're both seeing both teams struggle to get the ball in the rim.
Yeah, very physical game as well. Footux draws another foul against Fields. Williams, and again, her shot is off.
See what I mean? It's not off. It's just going in and out. It's the same. Don't change
There's
anything.
a lid on the...
Yeah, there's a little man saying, get off of here. Flicking it off.
Blowing?
Blowing off.
So Koenig into the game for Canada. She finds Alexander. Nowhere to go really on the baseline. Good defense there by Badian. Footux comes up with it. And now Williams gives it back to Footux. And she lets it fly. And still, that little man is there. Siak with the offensive rebound, keeps the ball high and draws a foul. So she's going to get to go to the free throw line.
Good job there by Siak here, we see. And really, if you're a post player, it's time to clean up the boards, really, because a lot of shots are being missed. So this is your time to shine, Siak. Get those rebounds, girl, and get them in.
Yeah, look at that. Canada shooting 15%.
And she misses that free throw. That doesn't help tick over the clock. Scoreboard, excuse me. Well, 50%, 3 from 6. And especially when you're struggling to score, you need all
And
this.
Canada haven't been to the free throw line in this quarter, and there's already 5.5 minutes played. Koenig finds Amy here. And her shot's off. Alexander with the offensive rebound, kicks it out to the shooter. Ace! And there's a reason why her nickname is Ace, folks. So Koenig with her first basket, I believe.
And they turn over the ball. Good defense. Yes, excuse me to cut you. Good defense by the Canadian. Just Page picked up the ball way too early. Got herself in trouble here, look. And then good decision by the Canadians to double her, and she just throws it away.
So Canada finally scoring. It's been a while. And Koenig's already hit 1. Finds Carlton, nice little curl to the basket, shots off. And Badian and Amy Hare fighting for the rebound. I believe it's going to go against Iliana Rupert.
Yeah, Rupert. And maybe we've been spoiled with China, who scores like 100 points, that now we're in this game, we're like, come on, girls, score some more. But it just be like that sometimes.
Well, this is a physical game, though. China hasn't come up against 2 teams as physical as Canada and France.
Oh, they've got
Carlton
tomorrow.
drives, tries to passes to Amy Hare. And ball is going to stay Canada, though, with 1.5 seconds on the shot clock.
Carlton should have really just put that on the rim with the shot clock running down.
And Fields touches it, but Koenig was able to get the shot off, and now Footux is pushing the tempo. She finds Rupert, who Carlton just runs right by her. Her shot's off, and Amy here goes coast to coast, but ends up traveling. And maybe just, you know, come 2-foot stop a little bit earlier. I understand her thought process going up against a smaller guard on the defensive end of France.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
it's difficult.
Makes sense. And she also kind of like got her foot in and tripped up in kind of same time. But anyway, France calls a timeout and we'll listen in.
Moi, j'aimerais qu'on joue comme ça si on a de la réussite. Transférer la balle. On arrive là, on donne, on les fait travailler, on revient dedans. Pour l'instant, on joue le demi-terrain comme une contre-attaque. Une passe-tire. Soyez patient. Amenez la balle intérieure, transférez la balle, viens chercher du main à main, fais jouer, et voilà, la réussite reviendra. Pour l'instant, les filles, on n'est pas en rythme, on shoot arrêté. Donc, si on est en mouvement, les choses vont se passer.
D'accord. Well, you speak fluent French, so tell me what he was saying in that timeout, showing up.
Well, a little disappointed with the way his team is playing on offense. You know, he says we need to find our rhythm. We can't just come up, play transition, one pass and shot. That's not working for us right now. So work the ball around, get it inside. We'll find something better. So let's see if France can come out of this timeout and do what their coach asks.
Well, that's a great timeout.
So Torre back in, and Canada come out into that zone. Paget to Futux, back to Paget. She penetrates, finds Rupert, and Rupert with lots of time, and her shot's good.
Nice. And that's exactly what you want coming out of a timeout.
Patience.
Patience.
And that's what he asked for.
And then Rupert.
And look at this hustle. So good defensive effort there by Rupert. Amy here not holding her off.
Yeah, get off me. Yeah, you have to be solid. Make sure you seal your defender on your back.
So, Koenig to Amy here. Amy here goes hard to the basket. Alexander with the offensive rebound. Fields ends up with it, and her shot was well off, but another offensive rebound for Canada. And they're doing a pretty good job on the offensive glass, I have a feeling. Alexander going up against Torre, who is much smaller, and that was a good foul by Torre.
Yeah, really smart. And they sent the double, actually, to Alexander here. Look, she posts up. And Alexandra did have a pretty good game. She led all scorers yesterday with 13.7 rebounds, so that's good to establish her.
Fields, her 2-point jump shot's off the mark. Paget saves it. That's a dangerous save.
Very dangerous. But they miss Alexandra down low again.
Well, Burkini in for Futux. Torre. Step back 3-point jump shot. And Alexander, folks, already has 10 rebounds in this game. So having a tough time scoring, but she's doing everything else that Canada needs her to do. Echanwa nails that shot. And again, I mentioned these players know each other. Natalie Echanwa has also played in France and is well known her abilities and weaknesses, as you said.
Siak there just mishandles that. That's a good look. And here we see Fields behind the back. Nice little pass to Natalie. And she's good from that 15-footer spot.
Well, Kia Nurse coming in. And nice little substitution there by Koenig for Canada. knocked down that three-point shot for them. Played some tough defense. And Siak going out. Well, Canada with a slight 5-point lead over France. And they're trying to post up Carlton, but Paget just working hard to not allow anything easy. And that three-point shot is good.
And all smiles from Bridget Carlton. Look at this. Comes off that screen hard. Fantastic screen by her teammate Alexandra. She puts her hands up in the air and says, yes, but she's good at that three-point shot.
And I believe, so the shot's good because the foul was after the release of the shot. And the foul is going against Marie-Ève Paget.
So Kanada gets a chance.
Exactly, so it's not actually a shooting foul. The foul was on the screen, Paget trying to come out, and Carlton with that big three-point basket. Nurse, they gotta put it up. Achanwa, and it's good. It's a great penetration and pass. Nurse to Achanwa. Well, so that was, you know, a 5-point turnaround in one possession.
That sure was.
Berkany kicks it out to Badian. Badian drives. Left hand is no good. So now Fields there's about a 10-second shot clock and game clock differential. So you're just gonna take your time, try and find the best shot possible.
I would have to agree with you. Let's see what they get.
Oh, Fields just splits the defense, and that's
a good
2
shot.
points for her.
That's a nice shot that you want.
Yes, can't get much better. So now 7 seconds. They're gonna have to go. Berkany kicks it back to Paget. Paget's shot in the corner is off the mark. Well, you said it, Azania. There's a little man blowing the ball off the rim for France as they trail Canada at halftime, 17-29.
Well, for me, these stats are really telling. Both teams not shooting a good clip at all. France just a little bit better, 28% and 22% for Canada. Rebounding game is winning by the Canadians, and the steals 5-3 to France. And Rupert 4 points and Carlton 5. Real low scoring game, but also it's the percentages for me. 7 from 35 as we'll get to see the best plays of the first half. France is shooting 7 from 35. They've missed so many little shots around the rim. It's bouncing in and out. We talked about that little man. Hopefully at halftime he goes somewhere, maybe gets a cup of tea or a beer and decides to get off the rim, because we want to see the ball go in the hoop.
Well, I'm sure France would love that little man to stay on the rim and blow off those shots of Canada. Well, not a high-scoring game. It typically is not high-scoring when France and Canada go up against each other, so no surprise. It has been a battle. It's been very physical, very aggressive. The referees are letting both these teams play. Right now, the advantage, the physical game and nature has been an advantage for Canada. We'll be right back with second half action.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
know France kind of thought about, you know, do they rest Rupert?
Well, here's Jackson from 3! Laurie Jackson's on the board for Australia! Feed to Akaho. They waited a very long time for that. Patience paying off.
The legs will probably be heavy, but she's still in the game.
You mean Connecticut and Sydney aren't close to each other? And what a block by Girantes. And now again, Puerto Rico, they're pushing the tempo. They want to get out and run. Nice patience by Hollingshed. And now Puerto Rico have jumped out to a 6-point lead early in this first quarter.
Yeah, and there you see that big block.
Talbot into Tolo. The mismatch is on. And she can't quite capitalize yet. Gets the offensive board, blocked by Rupert. Gets a third chance at the end one! Mariana Tolo setting the Sydney Superdome on fire!
What a fight by Mariana Tolo. Well, 5 seconds. Anderson asked to create. Nice defense, but she finds Krajcik, and Krajcik does not miss when she is that close to the basket.
Beautiful play.
What a great pass and play.
Yeah, lovely.
She's got Stewart all over her so far in these first 7 minutes. And a hand in her face. Get it out of here.
Nice little back cut, but Brianna Stewart was having none of that.
Technically, we're all roommates over the next 2 weeks here for the FIBA World Cup.
Oh,
and those 2 first points here, Kone.
Oh, Lee Yuan is now just showing off for the crowd, and you hear them cheering on her exceptional play. China 105, Korea 44.
Williams. Talbot, the most important hand in her face, but it doesn't matter. Gabby Williams.
Goodness me, welcome to the Gabby Williams show.
Jeez, Talbot did everything right, and Williams still drained that three-pointer, 23 points.
That's that shot clock pressure right down. That's the U.S. playing that defense. But here, we see a chance for Belgium now.
Laying on the left, it's good.
Now that'll hit the highlight reel, a little behind the back, no-look pass from Van Loo.
Yeah, what a beauty. I was looking down at that transition.
Welcome back, folks, and top scorer for Canada, Kia Nurse, in her limited minutes. It's not a high-scoring game, so no surprise that the top scorer only has 5 points. They've had big contributions. They've had contributions from a lot of players, though.
Yeah.
And, well, that was a quick clip because it was only 5 points. So now, France, Badian, who has got the start both games here at the World Cup. Again, for her, only 4 points. So, not many highlights to show you from her. And obviously no surprise. I mean, the score is only 17-29 in favor of Canada. And there you get to see the lovely marching band.
Well, like you said, Canada has kind of shared the scoring. Obviously, they've only scored 29 points, but Konig's had some good moments. Collie and also Alexandra found her way down low. But 29-17, France is struggling, in my opinion. But I don't think you change much. They're doing great things in offense. They're just not finishing. And like we said, that little man has made its way home. And hopefully in this second half, some of those baskets that they were just missing will start to go in.
Well, we'll see. They were good shots. They're the shots that you expect the players to put up. Obviously, Williams, compared to the start and the game that she had yesterday, has not found her rhythm yet. She is only 1 for 6. Marine Fotuk, 0 for 6. Badian, we saw her with the 2 points. She is the highest scorer in this game for them, for France. She has 4 points, along with Iliana Rupert.
But we spoke about, even though it's a low-scoring game, it's so physical, isn't it? They're really having to work hard for their points. Both teams getting to the line. Canada's got their 9 times. They're 8 from 9 from the line and 3 from 6 for France.
And all 9 of those times were in the first quarter.
Were they?
Yep.
Okay, and so they didn't get to the line again in the second. So France had an 8-point quarter in that second, which isn't really enough. This isn't the same French team that we saw yesterday in that Australia amazing win. And maybe that quick turnaround. They played the last game of the evening, which was 8:30, right, what we spoke about, and then finishing after 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I know last night, and so did you told me it took you a while to wind down and fall asleep, and we didn't even play.
And that was a big win for France yesterday.
Yeah, so they were probably buzzing.
Over 9,000 fans here cheering on the Australian Opal squad. So when I say coming down from that game was hard, I can't imagine what it was like for the players.
Yeah, it was a real struggle to get to sleep, and we didn't have 40 minutes of game time in our legs, and they'll come out, the French starting to warm up. But they need a good third quarter here, in my opinion. I think Gabby Williams just needs to relax. She doesn't need to change anything. I think she's getting a little frustrated, but she's making good moves. She's also playing solid defense, which is half the battle. And France just chip away at here. Also, Rupert with 4 points at WNBA. Las Vegas Aces champion. So we'll give her a little shout out, because that is also a tough ask to play in a finals and then get on a plane halfway across the world, and in the 2-3 days and just stayed solid. They chipped away at the score and then really came back and really led the game, I would say, mid-third and fourth, and controlled it. And here they are again, up 29-17 with the lead. And I don't know, at the beginning of the game, I said, I don't know who I couldn't, you know, put a winning bet on. But for me, Canada right now has the juice, has the right amount of intensity. The players on the bench, they look good.
Well, I mean, we can't expect any big performances when you've only scored 17 points. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Canada's defense. They have made this game very, very physical.
Yeah, it's a very, very physical top performers as it goes up. But it's a 12-point game, which is just enough to feel good, Canada, but they need this third quarter start to be solid and to keep building on that 12-point lead. And then France just need to take their time, chip away at it, get solid looks, get Gabby Williams something easy to the rim, a nice little layup maybe, nothing too difficult, and get themselves going also.
Well, quickly take a photo of that QR code and download the World Cup app. You can have highlights, stats, news, rosters. And didn't talk enough about it, but Kayla Alexander, number 14 there, only has 2 points, but already 12 rebounds in this game. There's obviously a lot of rebounds happening because of the shooting from both these teams. Neither team shooting well. France, 0% from the three-point range. Canada, 27%, but only 22% from three. Well, welcome back. FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup action here in Australia. France trailing Canada 17-29. And they had a little man on the rim, as Azania said, who was blowing the ball off of the rim for France in that first half.
And they're asking to turn the music off. And the music's playing like we're having a party in here. There is a basketball game, DJ. There we go. Now, let's get back to the action.
Well, they'll restart here. And to do my intro again. Welcome back, France trailing to Canada. And that's going to be a travel. I thought it was going to be a charge, but it's just as good if you're Canada.
Just as good. And another defensive stop, and to yet again get France out of sync. It was a lovely little bounce pass from Williams. And in the way of that is Natalia Changwa.
So, same starting lineup by both these teams to start the game are also starting this half. Carlton, Achonwa slips it, but here comes Alexander. She hands it back off. Carlton turns the corner. That's a tough shot and an excellent defensive play by Williams. Unfortunately, I think her foot was out of bounds, though.
That was, but that's what I'm saying. She is a defensive player. Obviously, we spoke about her offense, but man, she's won Defensive Player of the Year in many leagues. But yep, the referee all over it, right on that baseline, tiptoed out. But maybe also that's what she needs to see herself doing. Good defense goes into offense, you know, because she's not struggling, but she hasn't really scored the way she would like to.
Changwa through Carlton to Colley, and Colley's three-point shot is good. Not sure if France was in a zone.
I'm not sure what they were in, to be honest, but Colley was wide open and she drilled it.
Well, Futux trying to get this French team going. Williams, tough jump shot, well off. Nice defense there by, I believe it was Carlton who came late, maybe got a little piece of the ball. Now Achonwa to Nurse. And Sarah Michelle, I believe, got a piece of that ball as well. But Futux just can't hold on to the ball, so it's going to be a turnover and ball back to Canada.
But another good defensive stop here. Here we see Colley's three-point shot. Their little man's off the rim that we spoke about, and then a good defensive moment here. They get the rebound, France, but Nurse sticks with it.
Well, France still struggling to score. Nurse is going to draw the foul against number 6, Chartereau. She was moving on that hard step out. I kind of agree with the referee on that call. So, ball back to Canada. Alexander, nowhere to go. Colley ends up with it, little in out. She goes all the way, finds Alexander underneath the basket. Great pass by Shea Colley to Alexander.
And a nice little finish there, little loop pass. 17-point lead now for Canada. They've come out on a 5-0 run. France needs to answer.
Badian, her three-point shot attempt is off, and Carlton's the one who's going to be rewarded with that rebound. And now Colley gets reversed to Nurse, back to Achanwa, and Achanwa's shot hits the front of the rim. And tough pass from Williams. It was intended for Badian, not the best or the easiest angle.
Yeah, and here we see the little wraparound pass by Colley to Alexandra, and timeout France. They need a timeout because right now it's a 5-0 run. They haven't started this third quarter as they would like. They're not looking as in sync maybe as in union. I'm not really too sure what's going on with them, but this is a good timeout, and let's listen in.
La même chose en attaque, on essaye de pas chercher des zones directes. Là on tape zone, on passe en zone, activité, parlez-vous. C'est pas des zones, c'est pas des zones, il faut se relâcher, sortir vite sur les joueurs, sur les pick and roll. Ici on a dit c'est la grande. Si là il y a un pick and roll, on fait du bleu. On veut pas que. Par contre s'il y a un joueur là, c'est la grande qui est devant la balle. S'il y a personne, c'est l'extérieur. Ok?
Let's hear it.
Oh, you know, he started talking about the same things offensively, what they need to do, and they need to move the ball. They need to have patience. I think you need to be aggressive, but clearly the struggle for France has been on the offensive end. I don't think holding Canada to 34 points with, you know, almost 23 minutes of play being gone is that bad. And then lastly, he just talked about, you know, they defensively, they also need to figure out how to get some stops. And they're going to come out in the zone. No, they're going to come out in the zone. He was just talking a little bit about
what they were going to play on the defensive end.
Need to get back and then find the shooters. And Colley, great patience by Canada, and she's left wide open. And she knocks down her second three-point attempt of this half.
Like you said, great patience. They really took their time in that zone, didn't they? They picked it apart.
Took their time, spread the zone really well. And that's good to see if you're a France fan.
Yeah, Gabby Williams needed that jump shot for sure, and so did France's scoreboard.
Nurse. Simple pick, and no post help there.
Yeah, and that's money.
Chartereau, quick catch and turnaround, and a good 2 possessions offensively for France, but now they need to step up and defend a little bit stronger.
Yeah, they can't trade baskets.
And Colley is going to be blocked by Chartereau. Chartereau, and now France are off to the racetracks. Badian to Michelle. Michelle thought about it, kicks it back to Futux. Extra pass, pass back. Marine Futux, and it's no good.
That's a shame.
Nurse just nowhere really to go.
Yeah, maybe she needs to pass that out. She had the nice drive, and she had Collie in the corner here, and this is the good movement versus the zone. And then Gabby Williams' nice little silky smooth jump shot. Hopefully she can get herself going here.
Well, she's going to her right again, and she kicks it out though. Futux gets it back to her, and Badian. And Marine Futux all the way to the basket, and her layup is good. Do you think France are settling for a lot of outside shots? Not just at the three-point line, but out long twos, like shots coming off jump shots, instead of maybe trying to get the ball inside, attacking the defense, trying to get to the basket, more layups, or inside touches by your post players too. Well, nice defense there by Rupert.
And maybe it might be this Canadian defense also. I feel like they're playing such solid defense. There's not many good looks that they're getting other than the jump shot.
And Badian, not sure if it slipped out, but ball is going to go off Canada, so it will stay France ball with 4.3 seconds. You know, like that was a good, she almost could have shot this. Yeah. She was aggressive to the basket, and I think that's what France needs to do if they want to try and claw back in this game.
Yeah, and they finally got some offense going, scored 6 points, and managed to get their little man off the basket because they were on 0 this quarter.
Rupert to Williams, she's got to put it up, and it's good, and that's the Williams we saw last night, folks. She's starting to wake up, and that could be a dangerous thing if you're a Canada basketball
You're right, and that was so smart of her. There was only a few seconds on the clock.
Fields silences.
That's pretty, yeah.
Fields silences the French fans who have made their way here. Marine Futux, well short, and Fields and Badian going at it, and Badian's going to be called for the foul. Well, again, you know, that shot by Marine Futux, it's not a bad shot. It's definitely a shot that I think she can consistently hit. But clearly outside shots, long jump shots, 2-point, 3-point aren't going in.
Yeah, you're right, Shona. Maybe just get a little bit better, something to the rim. But it's the defense. I think Canada are playing solid on both ends. They're playing legit defense and offense. They're moving the ball and getting exactly what they want. Other than then, but that's because Gabby Williams is all over it.
Well, Canada will get the ball back with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. There's just under 4 minutes left, and Coach Victor LaPena wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Just draw something up and solid and just keep the pressure on the French. There's 6 seconds on the clock, so he's going to draw something up. So let's listen in and see if we can get.
Shemi. Brilliant. And Kayla, first, when the referee passed to LA, sprint, here, for Naira, 101. Yes, Kayla to Naira. Sorry, Leticia to Naira, but the screen is Kayla to Naira, and Kayla, you come here. If they are in zone, fake, bam, catch and shoot, okay? Be careful transition defense. Guys, we have 0 fouls, 0.
Nice timeout.
Yep. Well, I think the play is for Naira to go one-on-one.
Yeah, and also a little stat came up at the bottom. 0 from 12 from the three-point line for France. That's a tough day at the office, especially when you're trying to find some sort of offense and just see the ball go through the net. But anyway, let's see what they draw up. Here we go.
And Fields goes one-on-one. Tough basket going up against Chartero. So nice timeout by Coach Victor LaPena.
That's exactly what he wanted, right?
And almost a turnover. But ball ends up in the hands of that woman. Williams, well defended there by Canada. They didn't come up with the steal, but no good looks for France.
None at all. At that moment, Gabby Williams didn't have any option looking at the rim. I'm telling you, Canada is playing very, very good on this defensive end.
Burkini gets it back. Tough floater is off the back of the rim.
And that floater is her favorite, but really, if she just took that extra dribble, and she's into a two-step layup.
Carlton left open. That's dangerous. And Williams just goes hard to the basket, and that's going to count, folks. So a three-point play opportunity for Gabby Williams.
And that's really nice. Got the rebound and out running. Look at this. Here she goes through the legs, razzle-dazzle on the floor, takes the hit, and she says, yep, referee, count that thing.
Well, that's 3-4 points for Gabby Williams. So a good, she's been a positive sign for France in this second half, but the rest of her teammates need to start scoring some baskets as well. Carlton almost loses it, somehow pivots out of it. Amy here. And that's not going to count. So 24 shot clock violation. Good defense there by France.
And finally, a good possession of defense. I feel like they've been struggling on this end. But still, 14 points this quarter for Canada and 11. So they're just trying to find their way back into this game. 28 points, though, Shona, it's not France that we're used to. Well, I mean, if you just look at them from last night, they put up 70 points. They're nowhere near that.
Well, Williams to Rupert. Rupert attacks Amy here, and good defensive possession. Nice steal by her. So Canada with an opportunity to extend this lead. Nurse's three-point shot is off the front of the rim, but she gets her own rebounds. And now Fields. Her three-point shot is short, and another offensive rebound. Achanwa wanted the foul. Instead,
they call a foul. I think that was a jump ball, but either way, you know what? Canada did a fantastic job there, getting multiple. Here, let's have a look. Well, actually, yes. Dragged her down. I'm gonna say yeah.
It was on 15. Emmy here.
You're right.
Well, Michelle to Torre.
And now
she's been quiet, but she gets to the basket, little bit of hang time, and her layup's good.
Needed. And now that Gabby Williams is out the game, she's got to be aggressive. Because who's scoring for France right now?
Yeah, and we saw Minya Torre come into the game yesterday. Didn't hit her shots in the first half, but continued to stay aggressive. And that's going to be a moving screen going against Natalie Achanwa. And that'll just be her first, though.
And referees have been all over that this tournament. They're not having any slight movement in the screen. Has to be a solid screen. See what I mean? France just a bit out of whack.
Sorts, yeah. I mean, that entire possession was in the hands of Burkini minus a second with Badian.
Yeah.
Not sure that's the kind of offense you want to be playing. And every timeout that Coach Jean-Aimé Toupin has called, he's asking for them to play a little bit better offensively, be more patient, move the ball.
And that floater, I'm already tired of, I'm sorry. You need to get to the rim, put pressure on the referees to call a foul, drive into there, kick it out, get your shooters open. She's done multiple floaters like that. Clearly, that is her game, but she needs to change it up maybe just to get something a bit better, in my opinion. But who am I?
You are Zania Stewart.
Yeah, just an Olympian.
Well, Cauley, hard time getting it in. Great hands by Michelle. And unfortunately, Mina is not able to, Torre is not able to hold on to it. And Naira Fields goes all the way to the rack.
And nice by Fields. Pushes it to a 15-point game with that layup.
Charteroux. She's had a quiet game. Burkini, another floater. Tell me how you feel about that.
I just spoke about that.
So 1 possession, 15 seconds left in this quarter. I imagine Naira Fields going to go one-on-one. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, and she's been solid. And nobody's really stopped her in the last couple of possessions.
Well, she finds Cauley. She's hit 2 this quarter. Can she make it 3? She cannot. And ball will go out of bounds to France, but 0.2 seconds left on the clock. Well, after 30 minutes of play, Canada have to be feeling comfortable with this 15-point lead. France 30, Canada 45.
Well, there are the stats very, very low for both teams, really, other than the free throw line. 27% field goals for France. Really their story, as they've only put up 30 points in 3 quarters. They put up 70 yesterday in their big win against Australia, but just can't get it going as we get to see these highlights of the third quarter. Really, in my opinion, struggling on both ends. They're not doing great on the offensive end. They're kind of out of whack, trying to figure out somebody. And then you've got the Canadians who are looking silky smooth, finding each other inside out, really looking like a top team. And they, you know, Canada added from yesterday. They looked great from a Serbia game yesterday, and today they're not scoring as much because they have been missing. Their percentages are really low, but what they are doing is playing solid on both ends.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not been the prettiest of games, let's say that. But again, I mentioned earlier, I think this more physical style of play is definitely suiting Canada over France. And we saw France put up a battle yesterday against Australia. And I'm surprised because maybe Australia is not as physical as Canada and it's really affecting France. Or could it be back-to-back incredibly physical games for France that is causing them to not shoot the ball so well?
Yeah, because most of their shots have been short. But also, who's scoring? Like, who's looking at the rim and is being aggressive? Like, nope, I'm going to score. I'm going to take it to you. And especially when you don't have Gabby Williams on the floor, somebody's got to look to be that aggressive offensive player. Usually Gabby is known for her defense, but she is finding herself having to do a lot of work. And they're down 15 here with the last 10 minutes to go.
Well, you said it, Azania. 10 minutes left. They're down 15. They need to get some stops and scores. Carlton finds Amy here. takes her time, and she finishes over Chartereau.
Nice finish down low against Chartereau. She has really nice poise and patience.
Well, Kendra Sherry into the game in the post position, and Williams with a no-look pass to no one.
And France just really needs something positive. You know, they're quite an emotional team. They usually, you know, their bench jumps up, but there's nothing to jump up about.
And
maybe here, where Michelle Nini steals the ball, but it's a
defense.
Yeah.
But just kicked it with her foot. So 19 seconds on the shot clock for Canada. Chamwa, lots of time left on the shot clock. Fields comes off. It's a tough three-point shot, and it's good. I didn't see her have any room to shoot that
No,
shot.
she sure didn't, but she got it up and it went in. Good shot by Fields.
And Sarah Michelle, nice
Something
drive.
easy, yeah.
Not great defense by Canada on that possession, though.
Fields has 14 points now with that.
Colley, and it's actually going to be an offensive foul call, so great defensive possession by Sarah Michelle.
Let's have a look here. No, this was Michelle's
That was
little
her,
layup.
yeah.
That was a good decision because she had the slower post on her, and then this is Fields, who's having a field day. Couldn't help myself. She is shooting 6 on 12 from the floor. She's 50% with 14 points.
So Williams trying to get something going. Sarah Michelle, nice couple possessions offensively and defensively for her. She uses a screen, penetrates baseline, finds Sherry, and it's a three for Kendra Sherry, folks, and that's her first basket at a FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup.
Love that for her, good for her. And that brings them in within 15 again.
Naira, and great defensive play. And
rolled her ankle.
I think Kendra Sherry rolls her ankle, and looks like she's gonna try and walk it off though. You know what, she's just gonna tie her shoelaces a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I don't
So
like
good
looking,
job.
but the line makes a trip over and tweak her ankle.
There was like a little wall on that line. Maybe the man moved over to the line. Ooh, Kendra. Well, maybe she's like, is that Gumbo?
Dumbo, yeah. Or Bambi, I don't know which one it is, but
So
she's
good
still in the
job by
game.
Kendra. She knocked down that three and then came up defensively. Sarah Michelle almost comes up there with the steal.
And the energy level is just a bit better from France now. They've got 7 minutes, 49 seconds. They have to turn it up if they want to get back into this game. It's a 15-point game. And another offensive foul. And Colley isn't happy about it, but France gets the turnover that they needed. They've got back-to-back turnovers now.
They have,
Back-to-back
and all of
scores.
a sudden you've seen Sarah Michelle pick up her energy. He went with Kendra Sherry, who's definitely more of a defensive person, long, can defend a couple positions, and this is exactly what France needs. Sherry, she's already hit one. That one's off. And Canada are going to let the ball go out of bounds. So Shea Colley is checking out, and Naira Fields is coming in. And same thing, Kendra Sherry is going out, and Ileana Rupert back into the game. Carlton gives it back to Fields. And Kia Nurse is in too. And And she comes up a double stagger, but is not open. And shot clock winding down. She's gonna have to put it up. She does. And another great defensive possession by France. And Kayla Alexander is gonna be called for the foul.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back defensive possessions. We see, like you said, Nurse back in. She's at 17 minutes, so she's dancing with her last 3 minutes of her 20 in the game, which has definitely been, it must be a coach on there with their timer.
Oh, Gabby Williams just cuts the defense in half and goes all the way to the basket.
Slices them in half at the neck. 11 points for Gabby Williams. Much better second half for her.
Kayla, her shot's off. So now Gabby, who, great second half for Gabby.
Great second half.
Rupert thought about it, gives it up to Badian, who just attacks Alexander, but she's able to come up with the steal. And now that's going to be a foul going against Sarah Michel, the captain of France.
Yeah, this is the nice slice and dice.
She's so athletic, eh?
She's on her tiptoes all the time. Really fast, really athletic. And you can't stop that.
I would run on my tiptoes if someone told me I could have been faster.
She runs like a dancer, in my opinion. She's not heavy-footed at all. She's playing solid, just what France needs. They have 6 minutes here, and they've just chipped away at the lead.
Chanwa, it was a backdoor pass intended for Kia Nurse. Unfortunately, just a little bit misread.
But another turnover for Canada.
Yeah, another turnover.
Yeah, empty possessions for a fair few offensive.
And they're lucky that France isn't really scoring either, because they still have a somewhat comfortable lead, but you can feel the momentum change in favor of France right now.
Yep.
And the long arms of Sarah Michel. She comes up with another steal. Fotux is off the mark, and unfortunately she can't finish. And I was gonna say, Rupert needs to be careful, because Alexander exactly had a foul called on her down on the other end.
Way, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough defensive stop by Natalie Changwa down there to stop that breakaway layup. And unfortunately, France can't come up with that score. So timeout, and it's 37-50. Made it down to a 13-point game now. It's been 15 for a long time. Let's listen in to the timeout.
Same set for you, but here or here? Very right. 21. No?
No, like full court.
Full court, okay. Guys, we have problems to reverse the ball. They are pressing too much. So, but we can play in motion. Listen, with Kayla here, back screen, maybe once is good for you. A bit more aggressive. Take the advantage from, okay? Call motion, and they will be ready. If it's impossible, listen. If it's impossible, play normal motion, okay? Move it.
Well, there you have it. And France has finally ticked it under third. They're at 13. The highest lead has been 20 for Canada, so they've managed to get it down to 13 with 5 minutes 23. Can they come back into this game? Shown up, Thurborn.
I'm enjoying the fan experience here in the gym.
Oh, okay. Do you have the app also? Did you get that? Make sure you scan the QR code in the building, and you can play the games. Obviously, I've done it.
Well, France have picked up their energy, especially on the defensive end, and here they come out in a full court press. We heard Coach Le Pena, he wants them to run maybe a little bit of a trick play out of an offense, out of a motion offense, and if not, no worries, just run into your normal offense. And Carlton goes all the way to the basket. Foothooks is able to strip her, but unfortunately she was out of bounds. So 10 seconds left on the shot clock for Canada. Alexander misses. Badian seems like she got hit somewhere. And Alexander gets her own miss and is able to draw the foul. So she'll get to go to the free throw line. And it has been a minute since Canada has been to the free throw line. They were 8 of 9 in the first quarter. And they are still 8 of 9 from the free throw line.
Interesting.
Very.
Yeah, well, they're back on the free throw line now. Only team fouls is 3 each, so it's not like that's a problem. And let's see, maybe she just got clipped in the mouth there as Alexandra went up and missed. That's probably why she missed. She hit her in the chin. But this bucket is probably their first offense that they've seen in a while. Possession, they've been stuck on 50 for a hot minute, and so finally to see that tick over. And France has been doing a good job on the defensive end, but they've also slowed down a little bit.
And Achanwa, great offensive rebound, which she is definitely known for that kind of play on the free throw line. And Alexander missed her second, got the ball back, had an opportunity to make up for that miss and couldn't. So now Williams attacking Colley. Splits the defense, and it's going to stay white ball. Williams has been the bright light offensively for France in the second half. Chartereau, she can shoot from there, and that's good.
Well needed points, and here comes Canada. They've got enough time. They've brought it in within 11 now.
Well, that is the 4th team foul for France. So the next foul will put Canada on the line.
And Rupert goes back to the bench. Do you think she's on minutes restriction?
She did just arrive.
Yeah, she's not really staying on the court long.
No,
for her
to get into a rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Fields. Seen her do that before, and she just attacks Chartereau and gets all the way to the basket.
Yeah, her first step is incredible. She has 16 points now for the Canadians, and definitely a basket that they needed.
Foothooks, 3-point shot is off. And time is not in favor of this French team. And these are the moments where you have to take risks defensively, and you kind of hope that Canada misses, right? Well,
and
it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah.
So France has come up with big-time defensive plays in this quarter. Yep. But they waited until the 4th quarter, and they're still having the scoring woes on the other end.
Oh, I like that word, woes. That's exactly what they are. They are woeing in the scoring department, that's for sure, because they're getting the stops now. They just need the scores down the other end. Like you said, it's a 13-point game. Let's call a timeout. Hopefully you can draw something up.
Marine, ici, Claire pour Marine. On joue là-dessus. Toi pour là, là, et toi tu es fort à 3 points. Ok? Ok? T'as compris? On joue là-dessus. Toi tu fais le flair et tu t'écartes. Ok? Et on joue que là-dessus. Allez, allez!
Well, that's a good timeout. by the French because, listen, even if they lose, they need to make this losing margin very, very small, as much as you can, especially as this group is a very difficult group. We call this, is this the group of death? Is this the one that
This is the group of death.
Yeah.
That is Group B, and in their group you have France, Japan, Canada, Serbia, Mali, and Australia.
Right, so like I said, even if you can't get it back, you want this margin very, very small. So good timeout by the French, and hopefully they can execute here. Let's see what they get.
And ball in the hands of Williams to Chartereau. First shot's off the front of the rim. Now 3 minutes left to play in this game. Canada with a 13-point lead. It's been at 13 points for a while now. Fields has been great for Canada. She can't score, but she's going to draw the foul, and I think that foul is going to go against Badian. And it was all smiles yesterday in the game for these French players. A lot less smiles here today.
Yeah, and I really think that's, you've got to take your hat off to Canada. That is for great energy from really the get-go. I think they've led for 36, 55 seconds of this game, pretty much. So they've led this whole way. They've really pushed the French around. It's been a physical game. They've struggled in their ways, not scoring, but they've done enough to be up 13 right now. Make it 14.
Well, we talked about that little man on the rim in the first half for France. I think he followed them to this side of the court as well as Zania. Gabby Williams just again through the heart of the defense. But now France, they need to get back and play defense on their own.
And they have enough time. It's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, 11-point game now. No, sorry, 12-point game. Naira gets her own shot, ball back. And look at this fight for the offensive rebound. It's going to put Kayla Alexander to the free throw line.
And well done, Alexandra here. This is Gabby Williams yet again slicing up the defense. Beautiful finish. That is one to watch, ladies and gentlemen. And then here, Alexandra's tapped it to herself, and that is definitely a foul underneath the rim, and she'll go to the free throw line.
And you know, Gabby Williams, great second half for them. She has 13 points. You wonder if she could have had the first half like she had against Australia yesterday, if, you know, France would be in a different kind of a situation right now. That being said, you can't only rely on her, though.
Yeah,
and there's no one else in double digits. There's no one else really close. I mean, Chartereau has 7.
And that's it.
Well, good job by Alexander as she goes 2 for 2.
Yeah.
And now Canada with a little bit of pressure. Unneeded foul there by Amy here. But that is just going to be the 4th team foul. Well, same play, give the ball to Gabby Williams and have her create. And she misses that one though, but it almost went in. And again, you're down, so you gotta get up and try and pick up and force Canada into turnovers, get down, quick shot opportunities. And we talked about this, we've talked about this since this tournament started, which was only yesterday. But many games have been played already.
Yes.
And you want to lose by as little as possible.
Correct. So just keep chipping away. There's under 2 minutes. You want good stops as Collie drops it off to Alexandra.
Oh, great pass from Collie.
And that's what you don't want if you're France. And if you're Canada, you want to score as much as you can.
And Chartereau turns the ball over. She gave up an offensive three-point shot on that possession. Fields picks the ball up, and Sarah Michelle, though, is going to be called for a foul. She wanted a double dribble. She doesn't understand what happened.
Well, excuse me, France is over the limit, so with that foul, Fields will take a trip to the line.
And Naira misses the second. So an opportunity for France to get down quickly. And a little Spanish pick action, but Williams is going to throw up the three. And that's off the mark. And it has just been a hard night offensively for France. And give a lot of credit to Canada's defense, though. They have not made it easy. So now Canada trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Naira Fields is going to take Fotuk's one-on-one. She stops, she pops. We've seen her do that a couple times today, but that one didn't go in. And now Williams.
And Williams just out of control there. Maybe she should have just put that one up on the rim. But France is asking her to do a lot. And they changed the call, and it's back to France.
Yeah, you said it. They're asking Gabby Williams to do a lot right now. She's having to create, she's having to score, she's having to defend. Still 46.4 seconds left. They need to get a few more baskets if they can. And Fotuk's shot is good, and she says, finally. So that's her first three of the game, only her second made basket in this contest. And again, Fields just trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Amy here, nowhere to go. Dribbled into two other white defenders. Fotuk's just hit one, and she misses that one, but maybe an ill-advised foul by...
Offensive foul.
Oh, it's an offensive foul, excuse me. I thought it was a foul going against Koenig.
No, Gabby Williams.
I don't know what I was watching.
No, you was watching the play on this side.
Ah, okay. So they're gonna go to the replay.
We are checking the last 2 minutes when the foul occurs, if the shot is released or no.
Well,
go back and stop. The moment of the foul. Go forward. Go forward. Now stop. It's clearly the ball's in the end, so we have the offensive foul. We have 20.0 seconds on the shot clock. Okay. On the main clock. Let's go. Confirmed.
Well, 0.6 seconds back on the clock, and it is going to be Canada ball after that offensive foul by Gabby Williams. So Canada, 20 seconds left. I know they're up 13.
You score more.
Yeah, you do? That was going to be my question. Do you go ahead and score? Because at the end of group play, you want to give your chance finishing first in the group. And okay.
In general, you wouldn't if it's just a regular game, respectfully.
Okay.
But in a group play, you need to put on as many points as you can.
Well, guess what? They get the ball to Fields, probably their best offensive player in this game here today.
Amazing.
Carlton is left open, and her shot goes off the front of the rim, but Amy here. And she is going to be called for a foul as Badian was defending from the floor. So Iliana Rupert is not happy with that call.
Well, that was a good rebound, and that's a way to put more points on the board, right? Make your way to the free throw line.
Absolutely. 3.2 seconds left. Coach Tupan does have one more timeout. He possibly could use it and try and run a play to get a shot. 3.2 seconds. And doesn't matter because she missed, so Futix is going to throw it up, actually pass it to Torre. And, well, what a hard-fought game. It wasn't a pretty 40 minutes from either team, but a big
there, Shona, just to add to that. Not a pretty, but it's an ugly win. And sometimes it's just that way in basketball. Not everything's perfect, but Canada scrapped and was physical with the French team and have got the job done. I'm impressed with this Canadian team. They get a big win versus Serbia yesterday, and they come out and they're ready and they're focused, and they get the second win. They're 2-0 in this group.
Yep, you said it. They have been impressive, and I talked yesterday, this is a new look, this is a new style of basketball that Canada is trying to enforce, and so far it has worked, as they now are going to be 2-0 at this year's FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup.
And really lovely minutes from everyone. I felt like everyone contributed. As you see everyone giving hugs there. I don't know who that is, it's the back of their head. But anyway, hugs are well deserved for the Canadians because they have played so solid. That is 2 big wins. Here is the stats. Look, really, both teams under 40% from the two, 37 from the French and 29 from the Canadians. The three-point line not so kind to the French, 16%, 3 from 19. So, like I said, a very ugly game, but it's going Canada, way. But for me, Canada, that's solid. That's too tough in that group. You've got the Serbians, the win under your belt, and you got today's win, which is fantastic against the French.
Yep, and highlights. I think a highlight has to be Gabby Williams offensively. She's been asked to do it 2 games in a row. She was spectacular yesterday. And ball definitely was not going in the first half for her here today, but she did have a very good second half, finished with 13 points, played a lot of minutes. They do have a rest day tomorrow. Group B has a rest day tomorrow. Group A will be playing their 3rd game in a row, though. So maybe Coach Tupan obviously knows that and says, we're trying to go for a win here today. Williams, you got to give me all you have, because he played some players a lot of minutes.
Yeah, and that is big.
You know, on the other end, big performance by Naira Fields, 17 points. You also had Colley with some big 3-pointers in the second half. She finished with 11. And let's not forget those 6 offensive rebounds and 14 rebounds total for Kayla Alexander.
Alexandra, solid.
Wasn't scoring necessarily. She had a couple free trips to the free throw line at the end of the game there, so her points number went up a little bit. She finished with a double-double, 10 points and 14 boards.
Good day.
A very good day at the office for her. And you said it, everyone kind of contributed. We saw Kia, 7 points, Carlton 5. And it's tough to win at this level. when you only have one player scoring in double digits for France, and that was Gabby Williams. So we know they're not a high-scoring team. They did score 70 the other night. This was a battle defensively. The referees let a lot go, and I think that benefited Canada more than France here today.
Yeah, but Canada's looking good. They should feel good. They've got the 2 wins in the bag.
Well, game day 2, Group B, Serbia over Japan 69-64. Canada just beat France 45-59. Australia and Mali coming up next. And there are the standings. Canada standing alone at 4 points, 2 wins. Japan 1-1, France 1-1, Serbia 1-1. Australia and Mali looking for their first win. Well, from Sydney, Australia, it's the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Good night.